brothers, we are back. It's Tuesday night.
Yeah,
and we are live and streaming.
Yeah, we're looking forward to another evening with some hot stuff on. Great. How was your week? The usual question, Per. How was your week?
The usual question, it was usually hectic, actually, Maestro. We've been preparing the recording of Linköping's Wind Ensemble Orchestra for tomorrow, and we're leaving quite early, aren't we?
Yeah, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, setting up at 7, and then at 10 o'clock we're starting to record straight into it. It's going to be quite fun, actually.
So, you've been busy lately, haven't you?
Well, I've been preparing the scores all week. I have been, what else have I been doing? Well, lots of things. Now, the thing is, because Nils has a concert tonight.
What? Nils who? Nils who?
Nils Landgren.
Nils who?
Nils Landgren, the guy on there he is. He has a concert tonight, so the trombone tip will be after he leaves, because he has to leave at 8:45. So, but I think we are like really happy to get him in here, aren't we? Because we are releasing something very special.
Something very special. Very, very, very special, actually.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Should we bring him on?
Well, I think, why not? Just bring him on. I think he's there sitting in the green room waiting to come on. Is he here, Nils?
Oh, no, not that guy. Oh, no, not that guy.
No, throw him out. Throw him out.
It's good to see you, Nils.
No, you're not supposed to be there. You're upside down, Nils.
Am I?
Yeah, there we go. That's somehow better, yes. But if you could put it also in a different perspective.
Didn't you like me upside down?
No, I think you're much more beautiful. Straight.
Thank you. Great to see you, Christian.
Yeah, fantastic, Nils, and thank you so much for being here tonight. I know you have a show, straight into a show. You're in Germany. You traveled early. It's really, really fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, where are you actually?
I'm in a city called Groningen on the border to Holland. And there's a jazz festival, and the festival is, of course, only a digital festival without an audience. And I'm performing with my group Four Wheel Drive, which is a group of 4 people, Michael Volny, Lars Danielsson, and Wolfgang Hafner. And we're going to perform in, just a couple of minutes. And it's going to be great. It's a great band, and it's a great venue. It's just a pity that nobody's here.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Nils.
But that's like...
Yeah. Rudolphini Brothers coming tonight. I mean, we are so proud to have you on our label. And we would like to thank your record company, Act Record, for making this exception of your exclusivity, of course. This is just great. Could you tell us a bit more about the whole project?
Well, the project is, Christian and I have been talking about this for quite a while. And then at some point, there was a composer that actually wanted to write something for us. So then we went on with it, and we got the piece from Fredrik Högberg, and it was a seriously hard piece to learn, I have to say, but it's so much fun because we're doing so many different things.
Yeah, let's actually, Per, let's actually play a little bit from the Tarantella. It's really to show you what from the Tel Aviv performance, actually.
Cool.
Are you sure, guys? You want to show this?
Yeah.
Christian, I mean, how did it feel to dance the Tarantella with Nils? And I mean, this is totally crazy. Could you tell us a bit more about this Rudolphini Brothers? What is it?
Well, it's actually Fredrik who had the chance. I mean, Nils and I, since we were, kids. How long ago was that? Like 40 years ago, I think 40 years ago.
Sir.
And we have followed each other in each other's track, and we always, when we meet, we say someone has to write something for us together, and we just couldn't find someone, and then until Fredrik Högberg came along. I think Nils, wasn't that great actually?
It was fantastic because this is I mean, the piece is totally crazy, but it's so much fun to perform it and to do it with you, because we get to dance, we get to sing, we get to conduct each other, and we get to play a shitload of really hard notes. But it's also fun, and it's very sincere, and it's really some beautiful moments in there, you know, where we sing. I sing a love song, and you play a love song, and it's quite an amazing piece. And I don't think maybe it's not for everyone, but it's so much fun that I think everybody could actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been very exciting. The times that we did it, we did a couple of things in the Schleswig-Holstein Festival. We did Stockholm, we did Västerås.
Yeah.
I was at the premiere actually.
Oh, you were there? Yeah.
You see, and we did it in Nuremberg as well with the Nuremberg Symphoniker.
That's right, we did. And I mean, the audience really go for the jokes. I mean, the jokes are fantastic, and also the beauty of this when you.
Yeah.
She smiled when she.
She smiled when she said goodbye.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's very sad. It's as sad as it can get, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is actually.
So, and I mean, you can see the picture behind Christian. What we're doing, we actually right there, we're playing on each other's slides, and that's really, really hard.
Oh my God, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's you know, you have to be a kind of a brain surgeon or something like that to understand what's in there, you know. But some it works. It works.
Excuse me, who? No.
Nils, do you remember when I asked you a couple of years ago? I asked you what is the subdominant in F major. Do you remember what you answered?
I have no idea.
Oh, you answered, "Wow, I thought F major was the subdominant."
Okay.
You were drunk.
Was I drunk?
No, I was drunk.
You were drunk, yeah.
Yes.
That's more like it. I mean, you look like you're drunk right now.
No, I'm just I have some pollen allergics.
Okay.
So that's why I cover my eyes.
That's a good excuse, man.
It's good to have you on the show. I'm always already now I'm sort of part of the show, even if they try to throw me out every time I come on. They can't live without me.
No, we can't, because you are part of the show, because you wrote the stuff, and we enjoy to play it, really, and we have so much fun, me and Christian, doing it. It's really wonderful. So thank you so much for that.
Can I ask you, what do you know the difference between a bass trombone and a chainsaw?
I know I don't, but I know it's stupid, but
it's the vibrato.
Chainsaw.
Christian, could we do something about this guy?
Well, I don't know. You
is this the show when
are we moving on now? Are we moving on?
You can. You want to be Jack, or you want to be the real Fredrik Högberg? Tell me.
I can. I didn't think anyone knew. It's me. It's been me all the time. It's fantastic.
I didn't know that it was Fredrik Högberg.
Oh, I tricked you for 5 weeks now.
Actually, I hope you will sort of behave a little bit better now when you are a serious composer, because also we are bringing in your publisher from Germans Musik.
He owes me money.
Gunnar Helgesson is about to appear here. Hello,
welcome, Gunnar. Welcome, Gunnar.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us in the show, and also for promoting this piece and making it possible for the Israel NK Orchestra to be a part of this recording. You're a fantastic.
You are sponsoring that with financially. That was beautiful of you. We really enjoyed that.
I mean, Germans is of course a huge thing for Swedish composers and all of that. But tell me, I mean.
This is a contemporary music festival also.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Germans is a huge thing, but what do you say when people ask you, you know, about the Rudolphini brothers? Is this really contemporary music as we know it?
Is this really contemporary music? Yes. Well, you know what, thinking of Fredrik, I think he has such a big range of what he's doing in his composing, and especially what I think he needs to find is great artists that we have here who are willing to step out of their comfort zone, and you, I mean, you really see Nils and Christian do that, and when doing that, it becomes great music and great artistry. So I think that is all what it's all about, isn't it?
I agree.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. That's great, because we have, this is like a start, the opening of a contemporary music festival. We have four completely different composers with us. We have Sune, Mattias, Emanuelsson, who is doing some variations on Bingen. Yeah. Some fantastic music. We have Matthew Peterson, who is making a tribute to Sven David Sandström. And then we have Fredrik, of course, and then of course we have
Christian Lindberg, you know, the guy with the trombone and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Well, that guy.
With the Taipei Symphony Orchestra, isn't it?
Yeah.
In Taiwan. And they are going to have some people there from, we have signed a contract with them too in the piece Fake News that I wrote for them. So it's quite a...
Was that when you ran a marathon in your hotel room?
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that tells us everything about you. Because nobody else does that. I tell you, nobody.
Yeah, well, you would do something like that. I mean, when I see your schedule, Nils, it's unbelievable. It's worse than mine. I mean, you go everywhere all the time.
No, I'm sorry. I have to leave now, Christian. I have to go.
Oh yes.
I have to go. See you guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, Nils.
See you,
Thank
Nils.
for joining us.
Concert.
So Nils is going for a concert.
Yeah.
It was fantastic that he could join. They're bringing him on stage right now.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So
he actually
this, Gunnar.
Yes.
You are doing a lot of. You have a lot of different composers at your roster. When you bring them in, because they're also very different. What are your criteria when you sign someone?
Oh, that's a quite difficult question. I suppose every composer, they have to have their language and musical language that you find brings interest to others, and enough of interest so there is a huge audience wanting to listen to that music. But of course, every composer have to have their own language in the music. First of all, I think.
Yeah, and can I ask you, Fredrik, about Sune and Matthew? Do you know their music well, or?
I can't say I know Matthew's music a bit, but several years ago I also knew Sune Mattias's music, but I know that they are great guys and very, very talented composers.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to hear their releases on European Gramophone really much.
Yeah, this piece by Sune, the Bingen thing is very, very exciting. It's like you hear these choir things and they are mixed in with the electronic music and things like this. So it's very exciting. So actually, it's about time to bring Sune on, maybe.
Do you think so? Do we dare to do that?
Yes.
He's a great guy, but you never know his mood and so on. But we could try. All right.
Tell me, Fredrik, before we put him in, tell me, Fredrik, was it difficult to write this piece, the brothers?
Not very. It was very fun, much fun doing it, and as we were talking about, the personalities behind the instruments are so much more inspirational than the actual instruments. So I mean, if Christian Lindberg would have played the harmonica, it would probably been a harmonica concerto. So the instrument is not as interesting as the personalities behind it. And I think the Rudolphini brothers is proof of that very much. So I enjoyed every minute of composing, rehearsing, and premiering that piece. So I'm so proud and happy that it now reaches out to a huge audience. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks. Well, Gunnar, I want to ask you something about you. I mean, there's a huge, like almost like a chaos in the music business, isn't it? And how do you cope with this? I mean, the CD system is just falling completely down. So the record companies are not able to sell CDs anymore. We are dependent on streams. So tell me, how does that affect your company? I mean, it's a huge company with a lot of employees. You have an infrastructure that needs to be protected. How do you do it?
Well, right now we have the pandemic, and what is happening there, we really depend on live music for our income. When all the concerts are postponed or cancelled, it affects us a lot. I mean, most of us work 40 or 60% right now. No one is in full-time work. And then on top of that, you talk about the change in the music business, and doesn't help. That's true.
No, I mean the amount of streams you need to get to finance a project is it's ridiculous.
I hope also that the models will change. So when you listen to a track, right now it's a click for each track, and I mean a track in classical music could be 15-20 minutes. And I know that many recording companies starts to divide a track of 50 minutes to maybe 3 minutes each, even though it's one track. That's a way to get more clicks. But at the same time, I mean, you don't listen to a symphony as many times as you listen to a pop music song. You can, someone who consumes that can listen to it several times a day. And you don't really listen to symphonic music that way. So it needs to, I think it really needs to develop.
Yeah, really hope so. I mean, but I think we're really doing well, Christian. We are doing things, with these things in mind, and we have three composers with us tonight. Tonight we're releasing the Rudolphini brothers. Next week we had the Taipei Symphony with your music, and then we have also, of course, Sven David Sandström's piece written by Matthew Peterson, but it's homage to David Sandström, Sven David. And now I think we should bring Sune Mattias on, actually.
Yeah, very nice to
and
have
see
him
if he's
on.
still there.
Yeah.
Sune Mattias,
we have him. Sune,
are you with us?
Fantastic to see you here.
So
welcome,
in 2 weeks.
Sune. We're so proud to have your Bingen variations on Bingen on our label for the release on the 18th, actually. So we are going to talk at length about that piece then. But I just want to have the listener get a little taste of you and what you do. And I know that you had a great success in China at the World Music Days, ISCM it's called. Tell me a little bit about the piece you wrote that called "It Took Me a Long Time to Learn Not to Be Sad." Tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy and proud to be able to release this music on your record company. Actually, that piece was originally, first performance of that piece was in New York City, actually, in 2015. But that's right, it was also selected for the ISCM Music Festival in Beijing in 2018. And was very well accepted by the Chinese audience, I guess, And further, by far, it was a trip to go there, so to speak, to see China. Yeah. But the music is I've been trying to do electroacoustic music in a sense of how you write traditional music for instrumental music. So I'm working a lot with lines and counterpoints, and also the vision of for this album, Variations on Bingen, was to do something that'll move you in your senses, and I believe I have come quite close to my vision of what I wanted to set out to do. I'm also very proud and glad to have cooperated with a Scottish poet called Anthony McVeigh, and he reads his own poem in a centerpiece of it's 18 tracks over 55 minutes of music, and as one of the absolute centerpieces of the album is called Lament, and you hear the Scottish poet Anthony McVeigh reading his own poem there, and it's from a collection of poems of his that's called the Blackbird Translations. So there we go.
That's great.
Great, Sune. I'm looking so much forward to talk more to you and on the 18th, and we're going to really go at length.
In 2 weeks.
I think you have some wonderful guests also.
Looking forward to it as well.
Yeah. And we have someone else on, don't we?
Another alive composer. We have, another one. There you are, Mr. Peterson from North Dakota. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm great. I just got back from a couple of days in Hälsingland, and now I'm back in my studio in Dalarna.
All right.
Happy to be here with you.
I mean, could you briefly tell us about, you studied with Sven David Sandström, this, giant in Swedish music, and what gave you inspiration from composing this, fantastic piece in memory of Sven David?
I think inspiration is the right word. I think that all of us who are creating music, we want to inspire. And Sven David, he was my role model. He showed me what it meant to be a composer, and I could see what music meant to him. He was sort of a Zen master at the end of his teaching career when I was studying with him, and he would say very little, and it meant so much. And so my piece, Lament, I think it says very little, and for me at least means so much. It's music I wrote from the heart, and I'm very proud of the recording we made that we'll be releasing later this month.
Yeah. I mean, me and Christian were recording it actually with the Stockholm Saxophone Quartet. It's fantastic music, it's very well written, and the performance of the musicians is just voila. So
yeah, they're a special ensemble, and so to have that combination of writing a piece for him with one of the ensembles that means the most to me, it's a beautiful thing. It was really very special, and I think everyone who listens to that, I hope that comes across.
Well, thank you so much, Matthew. We will be talking to you further on in,
Matthew, I just have a short question for you,
Should I do this?
Time allows it. No, it's just a 10-second question.
Yeah.
Matthew, most composers have their own studios with some electronics like a keyboard, computer, and speakers and so on. I notice in your studio, you have a heater in the roof, then you have a printer, and then a microwave. How do you explain that?
This is maybe the less flattering angle. Right here, I have the piano, and over here is a saxophone.
Yeah, right.
It's a cabin. I need heat in the winter. I have to live.
It's good to see you, Matthew.
Good to see you, Fredrik.
Dear friends, we are fastly moving along to, what I think actually, sorry guys, but the highlight of this program, this show, the trombone tip of the week by Maestro Lindberg. What do we get to learn tonight, Maestro?
Well, I have a duty towards my fans, and this program, without it, they would
quit sending us money.
What I'm going to do is because I called the first one number one, the one that I did last week number one, because it was the only one where I had a proper back. So this will be number two, and it will be a little bit dense version of what I've talked about before. the importance of centering the embouchure around the note F. So,
is that a novel by Oscar Wilde? I'm sorry.
well, no, seriously now.
Yeah.
The trombone has a center. The center is the middle F. That is where you set your embouchure. And the funny thing is that we all fight all life with different embouchures in the high register, different embouchures in the low register, and then we have problem moving up and down. And it's really much easier than that. Once you get a proper embouchure on that F and settle that note, in the center, you can use that particular embouchure for every note without changing almost anything. I'll show you. You see, I don't change almost anything, but getting there is the real secret. And you do that by practicing it legato. I show you one thing that I still think is very, very difficult, because when you go up, you have to stay down. When you go down, you have to stay up. So when you go up, I'm just recorded this piece, the Rossini Willem Tell Overture, the cello solo in the beginning. Extremely difficult on the trombone. You hear how easy it is to get lost there and make a little mistake. Now, the mistake I made was that I settled the embouchure around that note, which means that when I get up, I'll get in trouble. So I have to settle the embouchure on that F and play the passage with that embouchure. Much easier, because you have learned that. And then when you come to the other passage, which is even more hard, I show you. That one, extremely difficult, but settle it with the F. Embouchure. And you can easily play that high E with the F embouchure if you practiced it. So that's my trombone tip of the month. But now we'll go back to the piece, and now I'm gonna ask you. Actually, Per was gonna ask. Sorry, I take over it's your thing.
I was just checking. Tonight we're releasing this Rudolphini Brothers, and it's fun to ask people. I mean, Gunnar, you're the publisher of this great piece. I mean, do you have like a favorite moment in the piece? Or...
Do you have any regrets?
The one thing that really made me laugh was when they start to talk about if you play on mine, I play on yours. And it's really all about that. They actually play on each other's slide, and that must be so difficult to get them in tune. So it's so impressive.
It's extremely difficult. Play it, Per. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's coming up here.
a little bit more safe there after a couple of concerts, so we started to make a vibrato even.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's really good, actually.
Per, what's your favorite moment?
Well, I actually can say that I went to the premiere of the piece, and I really liked when Nisso sang that tune, She Never Saw Me Cry. I think it was quite heartbreaking, actually. It was very, very, it was beautiful. I think we have a clip of that as well.
Yeah, the end of it.
Yeah.
The sound is not so good, so we have to, on this particular video clip, so we hear a little bit of that, and then Nils.
Is it the opera one, maybe?
You should see how happy he is when he conducts here.
It's the wrong clip. I did.
Yeah, but let's do that one. That's my favorite one, where okay. I get the chance to hilariously sing opera as a soprano. It's really fun. So go with that.
Who wrote this? Who wrote this?
Crazy opera.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to rent a car? Is it?
Yeah.
I was actually looking for. I just needed some Italian lyrics because it was supposed to sound like an opera. So I just logged into like an Italian dictionary with phrases, like holiday phrases that you can bring on when you go to home.
Fredrik, do you remember that I was studying with Andrea at this time in Italy, and you called me like, could you translate this to me? And we were studying like tourist Italian. We knew nothing, but it was.
Yeah, Per, let's hear your track, your little thing there. It's a beautiful tune. That's like the main tune of the piece.
Yeah, but it won't open. I'm sorry. We have the opera, the Niso Christmas slide, and the tarantella working. So.
Okay. But
I just think people have to log on to Spotify, Apple, or Tidal, whatever, Pandora, and listen to it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But Fredrik, your favorite moment, tell us.
Well, my favorite moment is when you connect the two trombones with a leather strap. And but did you show that clip already?
No, we didn't.
And then you attach a rubber band to the other part of the trombone, so it sort of what do you call that? It bounces back. And I love that very much. And there's a short documentary on YouTube that one can watch, and we see the rehearsals. And you ask me, how long are we doing this? Because it's just a fermata, and I go like forever. This is the best music I've ever heard.
Okay, here it is.
Mm-hmm. It says bad connections. I'm sorry. Facebook doesn't allow us for some reason. No, you have to wait for tonight, folks, to see it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. Anyway, fantastic. Thank you, Sune. Thank you, Matthew, for staying by also and listening to all this trombone stuff.
Yeah.
And thank you, Gunnar, for sponsoring the fantastic Israel Enki Orchestra for this release. And also Per with Nils is playing a concert for 8 people or something.
Yeah, that's a pity.
Yeah.
But
we're
now going to smile and say goodbye, and we hope, like Nisso in the concerto, that we will not see you cry. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, Instagram, you name it, and check out the release at 2400 hours tonight. The Rudolphini Brothers by Fredrik Högberg, starring Christian Lindberg and Nils Landgren, and the Israel NK Orchestra.
I thought it was out already, isn't it?
Oh my God, is that so?
I don't know.
I have to check. Could you spare a minute?
Check before we leave.
Wow, in that case, I can post the link.
Yeah.
But in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia, it's 12 o'clock now. So
no, we have listeners. My God, it's out!
Yay!
Yay! Let me show you right away here. Oops. Do like this.
Gunnar, I start a royalty machine here.
Here it is, folks.
Oh, that's a beautiful sight. Thank you so much, European Gramophone.
Oh,
and the Gammons.
Wonderful.
The moment you have been waiting for.
Yay! This is the moment you have been waiting for. But you have something more to wait for, to see Sune, Mattias and Matthew live when we release the variations on Bingen and the tribute to Sandström.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone. Thank you Gunnar again. Thank you everyone. Fredrik, Jack in the Box, Pierre.
Goodbye. Good night.
Bye bye. Good night.